Coming up next on This Week in Torrance, good news for former Corinthian college students in debt.
Then a famous torch makes its way through the city.
And a local middle school hosts a Renaissance-themed History Day.
Plus, hands-only CPR training and how it can help save a life.
These stories and much more are just seconds away.
Your local news starts right now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to This Week in Torrance. I'm Jin Chin.
And I'm Ben McCain. Thanks for joining us. Here are your top stories. Some record-breaking June weather in Southern California, humid and warm with some drizzle. Remnants of Tropical Storm Blanca broke rainfall records for the month of June. While Southern California primarily features a dry climate, the recent moisture comes from the aftermath of Tropical Depression Blanca, a storm that rolled over Baja California. The showers brought much-needed rain to the dry area, ranking third on the list of all-time record rainfall in June.
Well, good news for former Corinthian college students who may have been left with thousands in unpaid school loans and no school to return to. The U.S. Education Department announced students who attended the now closed Corinthian colleges will receive some financial help. Students who withdrew anytime after June 2014 are eligible for the debt relief. This may mean higher prices for taxpayers, as the government has never given debt relief to such a large pool of students before. Now, if all 350,000 Corinthian students applied and received loans from the past 5 years, the cost could be as much as $3.5 billion. So far, the Education Department, along with the Consumer Financial Protection Agency, has issued more than $480 million in loan forgiveness for those who took out private student loans. The California-based company sold more than half of its campuses last year due to financial issues and officially filed for bankruptcy May 4th of this year. Everest College in Torrance is one of the many campuses to shut down.
Drivers won't have to pay hefty fines up front anymore when fighting a traffic ticket. In some California counties, drivers to dispute their tickets were required to pay the fines before scheduling an in-court trial, but not anymore. California court leaders voted unanimously to stop requiring motorists to pay their fines before allowing them to go to court. Now, this ruling comes after the rising number in unpaid tickets due to high prices. Since 2006, nearly 5 million Californians have had their license suspended due to unpaid tickets. Officials hope this new ruling will help those who are wrongfully cited but unable to pay their citations to contest the ticket. The new rule is effective immediately, but courts will have until September 15th to update websites and issue documents to the public.
A familiar technology company has joined the music streaming race. Apple announced their new music streaming service, combining their app with music downloads, radio, and music streaming, all available at the touch of your finger. And like most digital services, music recommendations will be catered to your taste. The app is priced at $9.99 a month or $14.99 a month for 6 family members. And just in case you're not sure you're convinced, the app comes with a free 3-month trial. The new music service will be available June 30th with an Android version of the app available in the fall.
It's backed by popular demand. New homeowners looking to trade in their lawns for drought-tolerant landscaping can take advantage of the rebate program once again. The Metropolitan Water District agreed to spend an additional $350 million on their turf rebate program, an increase from the $100 million that was originally allocated. The water agency sells imported water from Northern California and the Colorado River to communities throughout Southern California. Under the program, residential property owners will be reimbursed at a rate of $2 per square foot of turf, and commercial properties will be reimbursed at half that rate. Businesses will also be limited to a maximum payout of $25,000 annually. Approximately half of California's residential water use is applied to home landscaping. It is estimated that the program will remove 172 million square feet of turf, which saves up to 80,000 acre-feet of water in the first year. For more information or to fill out an application for approval, visit SoCalWaterSmart.com.
Proof that Californians are doing their part in conserving water. During the month of April, water use was down 13.5% compared to the water used in 2013. This is a big improvement from the 2.6% reduction in February and 3% in March. Over the last 11 months, the state cut water use by 9%, still a long way to go to meet the 25% cut ordered by Governor Jerry Brown. Torrance's overall water usage was down 11.5% compared to April 2013, and the estimated residential gallons per capita day use was 73.
And an update on the South Bay assistant basketball coach arrested on some serious charges. Timothy Lucas, the South Bay assistant basketball coach who was recently arrested on suspicion of raping one of his former players, is currently in custody with the LA County Sheriff's Department. His bail is set at $500,000 and faces a maximum sentence of 32 years in prison if convicted. Lucas pleaded not guilty and claims the allegations are made up. His court date is set for July 14th. Lucas had been offered a coaching job at West High School but is no longer being considered. West High Principal Pat Metz sent out an email to all parents to notify them of the arrest. If anyone has information regarding the case or would like to file a report, call Detective Jonathan Cruz with the Hermosa Beach Police Department. That number is 310-318-0360. Still ahead, the City Council congratulates a successful girls soccer team.
And women come out to see if they have what it takes to make it as a Torrance police officer. Now you can enjoy a newly renovated pathway at Torrance Park. Old paths were updated with concrete pathways featuring sidewalks and ramps. The new walkway was also designed with handicap accessibility.
A group of select El Camino College students had the chance to perform in one of the most prestigious concert halls in the country. Led by ECC's Director of Chorale Activities, Joanna Natchev, 55 ECC students traveled to New York to join singers from Lebanon in a choral performance at Carnegie Hall. Wow. It was a once-in-a-lifetime event as 250 students and children sang side by side. Other participating choruses from Torrance included Los Cancioneros, Master Chorale, and the Voci Angelicus. Natchev also recently received the 2015 Distinguished Faculty Award from El Camino College, as well as the 2005 Excellence in Arts Award for Music by the City of Torrance. Now, to see these performances from the El Camino College Chorale, visit youtube.com/user/ECC Chorale.
The Women's World Cup kicked off earlier this month, and a local girls soccer team made some news of their own. The AYSO Region 16 North Torrance Stars celebrated an undefeated season. Coaches Gina Mullen and Gus Nunez accepted the certificate from Mayor Fury at the latest council meeting.
Fun to have all of these ladies be so passionate and fired up about soccer, and someday we may be watching them on TV play in the World Cup. So good job, ladies.
And also announced at the council meeting was Torrance Farmers Market's 30th anniversary celebration.
And whereas the enthusiasm and loyalty of the Torrance Certified Farmers Market volunteers have created a true spirit of community, enjoyment, and healthful living.
The Farmers Market, which takes place every Tuesday, was recognized for the 30 years it's been running in the city. The market provides fresh and local produce for the community each week, as well as donations to senior centers and food banks.
A heavily secured torch made its way through the city, headed to California State University Long Beach for the Southern California Special Olympics Summer Games. The Olympics torch made a stop in front of City Hall. Torrance police officers and members of the Torrance Special Olympics team who will participate in the upcoming games accompany the torch as it made its way along Torrance Boulevard. The city has a long history of participating in the games.
Our city of Torrance has been involved with therapeutic recreation or Special Olympics events for well over 30 years. We've been fortunate to have a great deal of success in the Special Olympics, and our athletes love the opportunities that are provided by the Special Olympics.
Torrance has a total of 9 athletes participating and about 1,100 total athletes participating in the games this year.
Some came out for the challenge and others to test if they have what it takes to be a police officer.
We have very high standards here in Torrance, and by expecting folks to meet those standards, we have to give you the support to get there, right? So that's what this is all about. It's about getting qualified candidates into the candidate pool, so eventually we'll have some good folks to hire.
The city prides itself in being one of the safest cities in the nation, and to live up to that title, the Torrance Police Department held an event to recruit qualified female officers. The event was aimed at making sure women felt confident in joining a career in law enforcement. Attendees participated in a physical agility course where their athletic ability was put to the test. They also learned about the hiring process with a special Q&A with women officers. Michelle Petty, one attendee testing to be a police officer, was excited to have the support of the TPD and put it into practice.
There you go. Good job.
Breaking down mental barriers. Psychologically, it's things are intimidating when really we can all do them. It's not as tough with all the techniques and tips.
All obstacles were timed and participants were given a score, with the grand prize going to Inisha Kiles.
A local restaurant famous for their burgers and fries served up some other items for their popular charity event. It was an afternoon filled with bourbon and barbecue as local bands played some blues. The 4th annual Triple B Romp and Stomp event drew in a large crowd to raise money for music in Torrance's schools. Proceeds from the event will go towards the South Bay Children's Choir and the El Camino College Chorale. And this year, chef and owner Michael Schaefer of the Buffalo Fire Department restaurant was excited to host the event.
Bringing it to downtown Torrance really brings awareness to this area. The city has spent so much time and money on renovating and revitalizing the downtown area that I'm just thrilled to bring this event to the downtown area.
The event brought in a total of $20,000.
Hull middle schoolers relived the medieval days with a modern twist. Here's Lisa Lee with the story.
It was a Renaissance day to go down in history. Students, teachers, and staff at Hull Middle School prepared for months to put on their annual History Day, a medieval carnival fair where students go around from booth to booth, learning about everything from magic potions to jousting and even medieval punishment.
I think we have about 160 kids that have signed up in different guilds and have given their time for not only weeks but months in preparation for this particular event. But it's all the things that they did on those weeks and months, learning about all the different specifics about those guilds and sharing them.
Kathleen McCarthy, a 7th grade history teacher at Hull Middle School and organizer of the event, finds History Day a particularly effective way of teaching.
They join with friends or strangers, they get to know each other, they research, they make boards for information, they come up with activities, and then they put this on where each grade gets to come in for 7th and 8th and spend hours exploring hands-on historical experiences. It makes history come alive, because history is just nothing, history matters today, and this makes the kids make connections between what happened then and now, and personal connections and responsibilities, all those things they need to know.
And for Principal Lafferty, who will be resigning this year, this event holds a special meaning.
Last 15 years, the most enjoyable that I've experienced. The community that we have at Hull, with our parents, our teachers, and students, they have supported me from day one. I will always cherish my experience in interacting with everyone here at Hull, and I want to thank all of them from the bottom of my heart.
For Torrance CitiCABLE, I'm Lisa Lee.
Thanks, Lisa. The school plans to continue the tradition of History Day.
Locals gave up their warm beds to live in a cardboard box for one night at St. James Catholic School in Torrance. Torrance CitiCABLE reporter Hibba Samad takes us to the event.
It's the first time Jim McCleese has had to build his own shelter out of a cardboard box.
Just a box from my wife and I. Staple them together to keep them from falling apart and blowing away.
McCleese came out with his church youth group in hopes that this cardboard box city experience will educate them about the struggles some homeless face daily.
Put on this thing first. Putting our plastic tarp over it and making the walls stay up so they won't fall over with the wind.
The thought of living in one of these permanently or in bad weather just, astounds me that people do that.
Family Promise of the South Bay hopes this cardboard city is one more step to combating the rising issue of homelessness in the area. It's an organization that keeps families together during hard times. With over 500 volunteers, the growing organization has hosted this unique fundraiser for the past 4 years.
It's about people understanding that they have the ability to impact. They have the ability to help. They have the ability to serve, to show that they care about others.
So many people just don't even realize that homelessness is an issue even in our city.
It's a backup in case this one blows down.
A struggle that Dory Hernandez experienced first-handedly.
When I was younger and had my kids I had 3 small kids, and I came close to being homeless myself.
And that's why Hernandez takes part every year with her family. Watching the event grow bigger shows her that people care.
It's overwhelming. I mean, it is today. I'm really excited about being included in this whole process.
For Torrance City Cable, I'm Hiba Samad.
Thanks, Hiba. The organization hopes to raise $2,000. Homelessness over the last year has increased by 39% in the South Bay.
Torrance Memorial Medical Center celebrated the latest addition to the hospital, a new piano. The Kauai Grand Piano found a new home in the grand lobby of the Lundquist Tower, all made possible by a generous donation. The hospital holds a piano program where a group of volunteers play live music for visitors and patients. It's a program that's brought a smile to many faces.
Every day of the week, several times a day, we have a different volunteer here, and the families and even the patients come out and just listen for a while. Different genres of music are played. Some are playing classical, some are playing old standards, some are playing pop, some are playing jazz, but all in a manner that is relaxing for people who are listening.
Visitors to the hospital are often under more stress and more emotional stress when they have a loved one in the hospital. So the music is therapeutic. It really takes their mind off it. And for patients, it just provides enjoyment and relaxation, and that is therapeutic.
This is the hospital's second piano.
The city is remembering 2 prominent members of the Torrance community. Former City Councilman Dick Rosberg passed away recently, surrounded by family. Rosberg served as a councilman for 2 terms. More updates to follow on his funeral service. And former City Manager Ed Ferraro's wife, Delores Ferraro, passed away last month at her Torrance home. Ferraro was 81 years old and had been battling cancer. Her memorial was held at Green Hills Mortuary. Guests made donations to the American Cancer Society for lung cancer research in her honor.
In honor of National CPR Week, Torrance Memorial Medical Center partnered with the Los Angeles County Emergency Medical Services Agency to provide a county hands-only CPR training. Jesse Pierre has more on the story.
So the more of your weight you can get over the top of the patient, the easier for you it's going to be.
Betty Broughton, a Torrance resident since 1947, knows the importance of being CPR certified, even at age 76.
Well, I have 17 grandchildren and 19 great-grandchildren, and they're at my house quite a lot, the ones that live here. And it's very important because you never know. Little kids are very easy to put stuff in their mouth, and you just never know when it would come in handy. And I'm really ashamed of myself that I've not learned it before.
CPR can mean the difference between life and death for someone in need. Anyone can learn, and everyone should.
Get your elbows straight, shoulders over your hands, and push down hard and as quickly as possible.
Captain Kevin Condon, who has over 20 years of experience, has taught CPR to people of all ages. As long as you are strong enough, you can do it. CPR is a temporary measure that helps to keep the heart and brain alive until help arrives. And hands-only CPR has been proven to be as effective as standard CPR.
Without any kind of CPR, there's only a 3% chance that person will survive. And with just doing compressions, it ups it to a 50% chance of survival.
According to the American Heart Association, most people who experience cardiac arrest at home, work, or at a public location die because they do not receive immediate CPR from someone on the scene.
This is really important for people to learn CPR, especially because there's a really good chance the person who'd be doing CPR is a family member, because 80% of cardiac arrests do happen in the home.
Aaron Aaron Bonachet, a former school bus driver, was invited by Broughton. He came in to get a refresher course on what he was taught years ago, because he knows that unpredictable things can happen, especially when dealing with children.
I once had to use CPR while driving, actually the Heimlich maneuver, which they taught in the CPR class, because a girl was choking on the bus and had to do that.
Everybody should learn it. You never know when it's going to come in handy.
Knowing CPR can more than double a person's chances of survival, and it's never too late to learn. For Torrance CitiCABLE, I'm Jessie Pierre.
Thanks, Jesse. Torrance Memorial Medical Center is offering various CPR classes. Pre-registration is required, so to schedule a class or for information, visit torrancememorial.org/classes.
One firefighter in the city of Torrance has made his mission to teach others the importance of CPR. Torrance CitiCABLE reporter Hiba Samad has his story.
It's the beat of this famous disco song that can help save a life.
It's hard and fast, deep compressions.
Soon after becoming a firefighter, first responder Scott Diekman decided to use his teaching background to also become a CPR instructor, which he's now been doing for 12 years.
It's something, as I've seen in the past few years, it's gotten more and more prevalent and a bigger deal to teach the public. There you go, that's perfect.
Educating the community to learn hands-only CPR is necessary, says Diekman, an easy 3-step process that anyone can do.
I think a lot of people are a little reluctant to want to do anything. They're a little scared, whatever it is. But if you come here and get this basic training, you'll find out that it's really not that difficult. Put the palm of your hand straight across.
Okay. And with a little practice, I was trained to do hands-only CPR.
This type of CPR that we're teaching you, you just go and go and go and you don't stop until the first responders arrive.
Most people who experience cardiac arrest die because they don't receive immediate CPR from someone on site. Hands-only CPR can increase that chance of survival.
The amount of help that you can provide by just doing a little bit is extremely important.
A skill that first responder Diekman is happy to continue to spread.
It's rewarding. I mean, you can actually see people that are actually really interested to come by and learn.
For Torrance CitiCABLE, I'm Hiba Samad.
Thanks, Hiba. You can visit heart.org/CPR to watch a simple 1-minute video on how to give hands-only CPR.
With graduation right around the corner, we checked in with valedictorians from Torrance high schools to see what their next steps are. Next week, we'll bring you an in-depth profile with some of the students. And also coming up in next week's show, we'll visit Smog City Brewery in Torrance, the brewery that's been selected to brew the Unity beer for LA Beer Week. We'll get the details on what goes on behind the scenes. Father's Day is right around the corner, and we'd like to see how you plan on celebrating this year. Share a picture of you and your dad on our This Week in Torrance Facebook page. We'd love to hear your stories. Now let's go out to Colin Kushner to see what's new on the Sports Desk.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for cruising by the Sports Desk studio. Hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook with any pics, video, or anything sports related. What you send will make the show. Just giving you a little preview of what we've got to look forward to on the show this week. South Baseball and Torrance Softball both vying for CIF Southern Section Championships. We'll tell you if either school brought back some CIF bling bling. Plus, my weekly rant and the Twitter feed. That's 4 and 9:30 p.m. right here on CitiCABLE. Boom sauce! We'll see you then.
Well, that does it for us on This Week in Torrance. I'm Ben McCain. If you've missed any portion of our show, you can catch us again at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m.
And I'm Jin Chin. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.